Hello, and welcome back to the Macro Gamer channel. My name is Mark Cassingham. Today we're going into week 38 of my portfolio overview. Today is April 13th, 2025. It's a Sunday. Normally I do this on Saturday, but I was busy on Saturday, so we're doing it today on Sunday. So we've had a hell of a week, so let's get into it. As of week 38, our portfolio's net worth is $481.85. And again, this is as of April 13th, 2025. We have our portfolio weekly data for week 38. This is from April 7th, 2025 to April 13th, 2025. We have a net cash flow of minus 14 cents, so there's nothing there. I did 2 trades, which I'm going to show later on the slides to try to keep up with the insane volatility that we had this week. So this will be explained better when I show you those. We had a money-weighted return of positive 0.52%. We had a market gain of $12.34 and no dividend earned this week. So we had just insane volatility. Like if you look at this chart, up and down, insane volatility. Here's a better example. Here's a huge spike, then a huge drop. So at one point it was like 460, got almost up to 500, and from 500 back down to below 470. It was just boom, boom. It's crazy volatility. Anyway, this is the monthly data for week 38. So this is from March 13th, 2025 to April 13th, 2025. We had a net cash flow of $60.92. So over that monthly period, we had 2 deposits. It's a little hard to see because this chart is so insane, but it was back here was the first one, and then here was the second one on April 2nd. Over that time period, like I said, we had insane volatility. We had a money-weighted return of positive 0.43%, shockingly. Market gain, this is more accurate, minus $31.31. That's just because this is absolute craziness. And then a dividend earned of 52 cents. So this is our monthly data for week 38. So again, this was a deposit, and then immediately after the deposit, boom, tariffs, boom, dropped. It's crazy. Here's even a better view. Here's our quarterly data for week 38. This is from January 13th, 2025 to April 13th, 2025. We had a net cash flow of $120.53. So that's 4 deposits of $30. 1, 2, 3, 4. I used to talk about this one being crazy, where we just had a drop in prices. This is all volatility of this administration, just the tariff policies. But then this one was the really crazy one, where tariffs got put on the entire world essentially, and then the market just dropped over this couple of days. That's what I was talking about last week. We had a money-weighted return, shockingly, of positive 1.42%, a market gain of $5.38, which is so sad, and a dividend earned of 77 cents. It's sad because just how fucking crazy it was, but at least somehow it came positive. We have our all-time data. For week number 38. This is from the beginning, July 21st, 2024, till today, April 13th, 2025. We have a net cash flow of $464.90. So it's going to be $360 of deposits and the initial deposit of $100. So back on July 21st, we opened the account. We went from $0 to $100 with our first deposit. Then every 3 weeks, we have a $30 deposit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pardon me. So every time you see a stair step, that's the $30 deposit basically. This little one right here is just the crazy one. This is always going to stand out on this chart. It's so funny. This is the tariff announcement. Global tariffs. We have a money-weighted rate of return of positive 6.97%. We have a market gain of $16.95. We have a dividend earned of $2.05. So this is our all-time data for week number 38. And we have our portfolio percentages. So this is where I did a little manipulating this week twice, actually. So on the right, we have our target allocations. And I'm probably going to have to increase gold beyond 30% now because all this craziness. But anyway, Gold is at 30% with our GLD ETF. Bonds at 20% with our GOVI ETF. Commodities at 15% with our USCI ETF. Stocks at 15% with our RSP ETF. US dollar at 15% with our UUP ETF. And Bitcoin at 5% with our IBIT ETF. Only thing holding steady right now is gold. When you look at these charts, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Only thing holding steady right now is gold. But anyway, in 1 week, gold is up 6.48%. Fucking huge gain of positive $9.09. This is why I don't know how gold is the only thing going right now, but it really is in this portfolio. It's crazy. Everything else is just so volatile and bananas. Bonds down 4.80% for market loss of $5.06. So I'm probably gonna have to reduce this down from 20%. Is this everything that I made in bonds? Just all gave it back in this week. Just all gave it back. Just insane volatility. I think the move index hit above 130 or something. Let's look at the chart on that. Commodities down 1.64% for a market loss of $1.25. Stocks stocks up 2.91% for a market gain of $1.75. So there's at least a little bit of a redemption in stocks. US dollar also disappointing, down 2.89% for a market loss of $2.08. Right now, the dollar, the DXY index is below 100, which is a big round number, so everyone's going to be talking about it. And then Bitcoin up 0.12% for a market gain of 3 pennies. Good job, Bitcoin. 3 pennies. All right, now we got portfolio monthly percentages for week 38. Gold up 10.53% for a market gain of $14.30. Almost everything down except for Bitcoin, barely up, but almost everything down in this month. That's just how bad things are right now. Bonds down 4.27% for a market loss of $3.40. Commodities down $3.64% for a market loss of $3.18. Stocks down 5.72% for a market loss of $3.79. US dollars down 3.11% for a market loss of $2.16. And Bitcoin up 0.86% for a market gain of 20 cents. I'm so off today. Excuse me. Not only did I have a difficult week in the markets, a difficult week at work and all kinds of shit. So, body's feeling it today. Anyway, monthly percentages, week 38. Not great. Even worse. Portfolio quarterly data. Look at this. Only one asset is green. Apologies. Give me some water. Maybe that'll help. I sound horrible right now. Anyway, gold. This is why gold should be the only asset in my portfolio right now. Gold up 20% over the quarter. This is a phenomenal fucking quarter when gold is up 20%. 20%, that's really good. Up $23.68. Dude, if I didn't have gold in this portfolio, I'd be getting fucking decimated right now. My portfolio, all my charts are positive, shockingly. So weekly's positive, 0.52, monthly's positive, 0.43, quarterly's positive, 1.42, and all-time data, 6.97. This one probably still would have been green, but these other three probably would not have been green if we did not have gold. Jesus Christ. Insane. Gold up 20%, insane. Everything else, fucking down. All down. Bonds, we're not going to get good data on this because remember, this GOVI is relatively new, so we're not going to have good data, so we're just going to skip this one. We'll show it on the charts, but you will see a straight line drop. Straight line drop is bad. Commodities down 3.04% from market loss of $2.38. This had a bit of a pullback, but it also was straight down. Stocks, craziness. This chart's going to be fun. Down 7.79% for a market loss of $4.76. US dollar, I held this too long, down 8.13% for a market loss of $6.28. And Bitcoin down 11.49% for market loss of $2.51. So just disgusting data right now. All-time data. Gold up 38.31% for a market gain of $29.28. Bonds again, not enough data, so we're going to skip this one. Commodities up 3.98% for a market gain of $1.78. Stocks down 14.85% for a market loss of $6.01. US dollar down 10.20% for a market loss of $5.28. And Bitcoin trailing gold now for all-time data, up 28.09% for a market gain of $3.26. All-time percentages. So position changes. I had to expand this now because Jesus Christ, this week was volatile. So I've made 3 trades in April. This is how crazy it's been, and I'm probably gonna make another one at least. Up until last video, this is the most recent trade on April 4th, 2025. We decreased stocks by 5%, increased bonds. But then in this week, because it was just so bananas crazy, on was it Monday, April 7th, right? Yeah, April 7th. I decreased commodities by 5% because it was getting destroyed, and then I put it towards commodities and increased by 5%. And it did actually do good for like a day or two, but then just completely reversed. And that's right after that. That's when Trump, all up into this point was like tariffs, going hard on tariffs, and then he's like 90-day pause, and then the market just fucking roared. And that's why after that announcement, I reduced bonds by 5% because it just flipped. Like I said, bonds fucking tanked and stocks skyrocketed almost 10% in one day. The S&P 500 index went up almost 10% in one day. Insane. Absolutely insane. But I put money in stocks, so I was like, fuck. I put it up 5%. And then, of course, the next day stocks went down, and I was like, Jesus Christ. The volatility is just insane. The VIX index was like over 40 like most of the week. So it was just, or over at least over 30 most of the week. So it was just insane. But I had to make 2 trades in 1 week, and I probably still got to make a trade this week coming up. I'm just going to put more money into gold. It's just too crazy right now. So these are my trades, April 7th. So primarily I sold bonds. Sold a little bit of dollar and gold, but primarily I sold bonds. This is where 5% got moved. So it's 22.64. And then we bought bonds for 22.43. We also bought some stocks in Bitcoin. This was the buy and sell for April 7th, 2025. And then not too long after, like I said, the craziness of the volatility on April 10th, I sold those bonds, and then I bought stocks. Because again, just the flip was just so insane. I was losing so much in bonds so fast, and stocks were rising so fast. It was insane. So basically sold bonds, bought stocks, and then a little bit extra, a couple of extra ETFs. But these are my transactions for April 7th and April 10th. So you can see here. Luvium staking for week 38. Current ILV price $11.53 per token. Somehow staying above $10. We currently have 12.34 ILV staked for a market value of $142.26. We have our Luvium vesting. We're almost at 100 days left for our very first vest, which is going to be in July. So we could technically claim this if we wanted to, but we're going to leave it vested basically just to, unless of course these tokens start going up out of nowhere, which they won't. Not until that game's released or something, the full game, where they got full storyline and all that, which I've been waiting for years now. All these fucking crypto games scammed everybody with their fucking lies. They're way too early, unfortunately. It's just all the bullshit. I shouldn't say bullshit. It's all the low quality games. So when I mean quality, I just mean like they're not like high graphical games, like AAA quality games. Just like a simple app game that has very low quality graphics, but it at least has some sort of gameplay loop for people to play. But for me, I'm like, no, I want the full on, like, I want games that compete with like the PS5 and Xbox and everything, and PC games. I want like those kind of blockchain games. I want like high-end games to compete. We're far away from that still, unfortunately. But anyway, here's my vesting for week 1. Here's for week 2. The most recent one was done at the end of March. It's probably towards the end of April. I'll add another one in here. Luckily though, with the price going down, because I just do $40 per month, now I'm getting 2 tokens per purchase. Almost 3, almost 3 tokens right here. If it's at $10 a token, shit. If I do it one of these months, I'm gonna get 4 tokens. That's gonna be awesome. No revenue distribution this week, so this 0.024 ILV was 3 total so far since we started doing this, since week 1, and it's got a current market value of 27 cents. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Just had an exhausting week. Anyway, fun stuff, charts. Look at gold. Gold standing erect right here. Look how erect that fucking candlestick is on that chart. My god, look at it on a 1 month. This was unprecedented. What is this just right here, this move? I gotta measure this. So we'll go say this bottom right here on April 7th to right here. It's 9.32%. This is almost like the stock market going up 9%. Just crazy. Gold just made a huge move. Dude, look at this chart, man. If I even go back to right about here, this was kind of the lower high. So this high right here is a little bit higher. Or this low right here is higher than this one here. So it's technically goes like this, but this is not very clean. So I zoom into right about here, and this is like a very clean chart. But look at it now, just boom. Just fucking standing erect, standing tall. Keep thinking gold has to give back. At some point, it's gone up so much, but it's not. It's just fucking not. What's gold at right now? It's over 3,200 an ounce. 3,200. It's fucking insane, man. Just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. It's crazy how much gold has gone up. Good thing we have it in our portfolio. It's the only thing going up right now. I'm gonna have to increase this shit to 35 or 40%. Just say fuck it, because Trump's policies, I don't care what anyone's political policies are. Trump's policies in the market are just fucking bananas right now. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. And it's fucking with my portfolio. Somehow, if I didn't have gold, my shit would be down. Like no joke, my shit would be down. Just, it's too crazy. If I didn't have gold. So I need to increase the gold, because gold is the one thing that it seems like no one can manipulate. Not even Trump. Even though there was like some, like this right here. Where's it at? Let me go back to my ETF. It shows it better in my ETF. Not that one. Like right here, here's some good manipulation right here. So this is coming into like the election. This is election week right here. Look at that drop in gold. Like this wasn't someone specifically manipulating it, but this was all during the U.S. presidential election. So like there is some manipulation in gold where people buy and sell based on like, you know, certain events, but gold still held strong. Just crazy how much it's held strong. Never given up on gold. Commodities. Oh my god. So big ass drop. And I'm a full believer in tariffs are going to increase inflation. I'm a full believer because a tariff is a tax. So whatever people are importing it, because I'm a U.S. citizen, whatever people are importing into my country now, they're going to get taxed, which means that the tax gets passed on to the consumer, which means consumers pay more for prices. So the prices are going to inflate. So I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know how these tariffs are going to work out, because now we're on a 90-day pause all of a fucking sudden. You know, we went fucking hard on tariffs, like tariff the world. Then we're like, all right, 90-day pause. That's just like, my god. But this was tariff volatility right here. That's what this is. This is full-on manipulation. This is tariff volatility right here. Look at the CRB index right here. Same thing. Look at this tariff volatility right here. It's all tariff volatility. It's fucking crazy, man. I cannot keep up with this market. It is insane. You know, you go back though, still in this green range though. Still in this green range. You know, so still up and to the left. And if you go back on a 5-year chart, commodities still fucking up and to the right ever since the COVID pandemic started. So, you know, we're not wrong for owning commodities, but as of right now, we are fucking wrong. Because this fucking drop is crazy. Let's measure this. I'm going to use the shit out of my measuring tool today. So we'll go right to the top, all the way to the bottom. 13%. 13% from Wednesday the 2nd to Wednesday the 9th. So basically 1 week. This is 1 week right here. I lost 13% in commodities. Dude, fucking crazy, man. 7 days. You know? Crazy. Crazy. Dude. Bonds. Dude. Bonds. Look at this drop right here. Look at this drop right here. I was riding this right here. There's like some choppiness, but look at this. Look at this. Still in this green trend, but dude, the 10 years at like 10.5 right now. Let's do that right now. Where's that? 4.49. 4.49. You know, I still got this trend line here. You know, it's still, you know what I'm saying? Like it's still slightly in a downtrend, but dude, this volatility spike right here. This volatility spike. Look at it on a 1 month. Dude. Fucking A, bro. Look at this. 18%. My God, the 10-year from April 4th to April 11th jumped 18%. 18%. That's a huge fucking move. It's a huge fucking move. Like I said, the move index is over 130. The move index is like the VIX the VIX, the VIX right here is like the volatility index for like the S&P 500, the stock, you can say quote unquote the stock market, but it's for the S&P 500. And the move index is for like the bond rates, you know, so like bonds have volatility. So bond volatility versus stock volatility. But anyway, look at this bond volatility. You got this measurement tool. 52%. Dude. It went from 91 to a peak of 140. So it went from under 100 to 140. Basically moved 50 points. People use the term basis points. I don't really like to. I like to use percent. It moved 50 points from from March 28th to April 8th. It moved 50%. This is how volatile rates were right now. This is why my bond position fucking tanked. This is why this tanked. Right here. Look at this. My GOVI. Look at this. This is why it tanked. Drops 6.3%. From April 4th to April 11th. It just fucking tanked. Dude. Crazy volatility. Crazy volatility. I don't even want to look at the dollar right now. Dude, this shit just keeps tanking. I'm gonna have to reduce this. And the DXY is under 100 right now. The dollar index is under 100 right now. And I don't care about, you know, the big round numbers. I've mentioned this before. It's a psychological thing. Dude, I gotta extend this arrow. God damn it. It's a psychological thing. Like, it's great catchy headlines on like big network shows, like when something reaches a big round number. So they'll be like, the DXY is under 100, so the US dollar. And the US dollar, the DXY isn't really the US dollar. It's made up of like different currencies, like the euro predominantly, the Japanese yen, and I think the Swiss franc, but it's like 50+% the euro or whatever. So it's just an index of other currencies, but we call it the dollar index, right? But just fucking disgusting. Look at this. Look how much, Jesus man, how much did this go down in a day? We do year to date, it's a little bit cleaner. This will do, my God, man. We'll do from right here, April 3rd to right there. Basically 5%. Dropped 5% just a couple days. Or just a few days. That's crazy, man. There's so much volatility in this week. Dude, I'm gonna have to just put money in gold. It's not even a joke anymore. For a while, I was like, I want to keep it like 30% max. I'm like, you know what? In the stronger, quote unquote, stronger assets that are like less volatile, I'm gonna have to put it in those. I'm gonna have to kick gold up to 35 or 40%, honestly. I'm gonna have to reduce bonds by 15%. And maybe reduce dollar because it's just fucking collapsing. This is so bad. This is so bad. This has been a hard as fuck week, I'm not gonna lie. Stocks. Oh my God, stocks now. Look at this huge sell-off. Let's get out the fucking tool. Let's measure this. I'm having a fun time with this measurement tool. So here we're at the peak. Right before tariffs. Come down here. 13%, right? 13%. So this is post-tariff announcement. Trump destroyed the market. Then now, post 90-day pause of tariffs, Over 9%. Over 9%. What's the S&P at? Let me do the S&P because it's better. So where are we at? So 999, 10. So 999, 8, 9, 8. Right there. So we're going to go right here to that absolute peak. Right there. So yeah, a little over 10%. 10% in one fucking day. 10% in one fucking day. After the pause of the tariffs. And of course there was insider trading because people profited huge off that. Because somehow they knew, right? Somehow they knew before everyone else. Like, Jesus Christ, man. This is way the fuck out of the range now. It was in this range. There's this one here. This is not a clean break. It's not clean. But this break is just disgusting. It is just such a fast drop. It is disgusting. Let's look at the... Oh, this is the S&P. I apologize. I thought I was online. There we go. Same thing, but... You know, this isn't a clean break, but it's cleaner than this. This is just a disgusting drop. It's way the fuck down here now. So, and I put it to 15%. Man, I gotta reduce everything. Just throw it all in gold. Fuck it. You know? Just throw it all in gold. Let's just kick gold up to like 50%. At least it's gold. You know, it's not gonna have crazy volatility. Like, what's the gold volatility right now? Gold volatility is actually coming up, surprisingly. So everyone's buying it so much. That's why. It's actually pretty high, not gonna lie. But I mean, shit, it's... Look at this fucking rocket ship of volatility right here. Look at the VIX volatility. Jesus Christ. Oh man, that's a pretty high one. Did I put this on here? I think it was something else. Dude, it's way the fuck up here. Shit, tap 60. There's only a few times going back to 1990. Going back to 1990. There's only a couple times where we've had volatility this high. Crazy. And it's still high relative. It's like 37. And the move to the fucking going back to 2000, you know, there's actually been a lot of interest rate volatility in the past, but it was pretty high. All this shit's pretty high. And then Bitcoin, astonishingly, not doing too bad. Not doing much, but at least holding value. At least holding value. Shockingly. You know? Shockingly. It's came down, you know? Still holding value. We still have all of our peaks here. You know, 2017 peak. 2021 had double peak. The end of 2024, beginning of 2025 had like a little bit of double peak. Came down, but I mean, it hasn't really crashed. It came down below the 80,000 mark, but it came back up. Right? After that 90-day pause, came back up. You know, I don't want to say 80,000 is like a floor or anything like that, but it's definitely a big round number that people are protecting, it seems like. But yeah, this week's been fucking crazy. Just stupid fucking crazy. Trump was all hard on tariffs. Tariff the fucking world, literally. And then all of a sudden, 90-day pause. And then the market just flipped. Everything flipped. Man, I don't know. If it's a 90-day pause, I would probably still pull 5% out of bonds and put it into gold. Put gold up to 35%. And man, kind of want to pull 5% out of the dollar and put it somewhere else, but the only place that'd be logical right now is gold. But gold is stupendously high right now. Stupendously high. This fucking just... And the volatility of gold right now is getting high. It's almost above 30. You know? I put this blue line on here because below 20 is like, you know, this 9 to 20... Actually, I get rid of this line because it's kind of irrelevant. Below 20 is kind of like, you know, just like these scoops. Like, you know, I've talked about these scoops before in other volatility indexes. You know, just this is where like calmness happens. You know, this is where things are relatively calm. Then it gives above this 20 line and shit just starts going crazy. You know, I need to put one on here. What would be a good one on here? It's like so low. Maybe like 90. I'm just looking at this. Let's see. 80 would be better. Oops, not a trend line. Oopsies. Man, horizontal line. We'll put it at 80. There we go. See right there. Yeah, kind of these scoops, scoop, 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 right? And things start getting crazy. You know, these lines and oil. Where's oil at? Oops. I'll remove these trend lines because I probably had these a long time ago for something. I don't use them anymore. Oops, I deleted my blue line. Bring that back. Oh, cool. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, gold above or 45-ish. That's kind of a high line. Yeah, these volatility. Just the VIX alone. It's crazy. This is a crazy volatile week. Volatility everywhere. Volatility in bonds, volatility in stocks, volatility in gold, volatility in oil, volatility in commodities, right? Volatility in currency. There's volatility everywhere. Everywhere. Nothing's safe. Except gold, apparently. Except gold. That's the only thing that's safe right now. Whatever you're in, it's all fucking crazy right now. It's all crazy right now. So, I'm thinking the next week I'm going to have more trades, and I'm probably just going to increase my position to gold, because even if gold pulls back, it just seems to have been doing better, so much better than everything else. And I don't know, because I have to at least reduce bonds to like 15%, because bonds just took a shit on me, and I gotta fucking pull some out of that until the 10-year comes down again, which it's really high right now. It's like at 4.5. But I think right now I'm gonna have to reduce my bond position, increase the gold, kind of go from there. So next week's gonna be another fun week. I'm sure we're gonna get all kinds of announcements. At the very least, I think we're on a 90-day tariff pause, so maybe that'll give some breathing room for the market, hopefully. I think the only country we're really tariffing hard now is China, because we went back and forth retaliating against each other. So I'm not even gonna get into all that, but at the very least, you know, this is an active portfolio. You know, a lot of portfolio, or actually, let me take that back. A lot of people you see online don't have any portfolio management. They sure as shit talk about a lot of stuff, but I don't see any portfolio management. I'm at least showing portfolio management, so that side of it, so people can see like what it's like really trying to actually actively manage money through all this shit. It's not easy when you have volatility everywhere on all asset classes, and you can't talk about making money. Like, you can't unless you're all in on gold. That's the only thing I see making money right now is gold. Everything else is taking a shit. So that's the play right now. Clearly I diversify, so I'll never put 100% of my money on gold, but I might increase above 30% now, but I gotta be careful. But anyway, it's long enough ranting. As always, hope you enjoyed the content. If you have any questions, comments, or criticisms, let me know, and I will see you next week.